Hello everyone, on this episode of Kindred Spirits, Caveman Games. Developed by Core Design and published in 1991 for the Sega Genesis by Virgin Games, Chuck Rock is a side-scrolling platformer. You play as Chuck Rock, a lazy caveman just wasting his days away watching TV until your wife, Ophelia, is clubbed on the head and taken by her longtime admirer, Gary Gritter. Discovering her disappearance, you cobble together a leaf and twig loincloth and give pursuit after them. Gameplay covers 5 unique levels, each one offering slight changes in game mechanics, puzzles, and mob attacks. As Chuck, you have a limited array of attacks, mostly comprised of air kicks, belly bumps, and rock throwing. Mobs spawn at predefined points. Common with most early games, if you stop in the right place, enemies will continually respawn. Bosses are either simple to defeat or ridiculously hard. Graphics are well designed and smooth with a varying color palette. There are no obvious glitches. Sounds are cartoonish but well done. Stage music is excellent, giving an upbeat tempo to gameplay. Controls are our only complaint, as timing and response seems to be sluggish or off enough to make simple tasks a bit of a chore. Chuck Rock is worth a play or two, as it is a well-done, if slightly clunky, goofy side-scroller. Part of the Chuck Rock game series, BC Racers was designed by Core Design and released for the Sega 32X in 1995. Set in prehistoric times, rich man Millstone Rockefeller has created a competition where the winner will receive the ultimate Boulder Dash bike. 6 teams have entered the competition, each with their own unique strengths and weaknesses. There are over 30 tracks in the competition, divided up between 4 difficulty settings. You will pick one of the 6 teams available based on the racing stats that you feel most comfortable with. Physical attacks are allowed and even encouraged. Scoring is accomplished by finishing high in the race or bashing your opponents into failing. Turbo Boost is provided for use every few seconds. BC Racers has almost sinfully bad graphics. The images on the screen are pixelated, grainy, and have a low frame rate. Yet, with perseverance, the game becomes much more playable. Motion and position are easy to determine, and after a while the terrible graphics simply don't matter. Sound effects are really basic and muted. This combination makes for a rather quiet, simple game experience. Music is unique for each race course, which provides some relief for the cotton ball in the ears effects. The goal of the game is to just win. No fancy power-ups, no intricate patterns, no sophisticated combos. You race and you bash, with nothing else to distract. Playing through with each team provides a different experience, as each duo has a very different style of control, speed, durability, and attack. Comical and simple, BC Racers is a great entry-level racing game for young players, though even seasoned veterans will find this game a challenge when reaching a high score. Developed by Optimus Software and released in 1991 for the Nintendo Entertainment System by Camerica, you are Big Nose, a caveman who is concerned with finding food for Thanksgiving Day. The large animals of Paradise Island are tired of being hunted and left the island, leaving the inhabitants with not enough meat to eat. While pondering a trip to the rumored Peanut Butter Cave, you see an enormous pterodactyl fly overhead, and the chase for a Thanksgiving birdie begins. Big Nose the Caveman is a side-scroller reminiscent of other hit-and-run platform franchises, with ground-and-air-based opponents, bones to collect as cash, power-ups to be found, and many hidden areas and objects to discover. Blueberries are the most important power-up, allowing you to throw stones. A single hit will cancel the power-up, but at least you will survive. Gameplay is complicated by the fact that there is no going back, as once the screen scrolls, it will no longer go backwards. Also, platforms will not carry you, as you must continue moving with the D-pad, or the platform will slide right out from under you. If you are able to find the hidden shops, the shopkeepers will exchange bones for spells, power-ups, extra lives, and other helpful items. Bosses are deceptively difficult without power-ups, as the timing for hit-and-run tactics is precise but doable with practice. Graphics are middle of the road for an NES game, not really pushing the boundaries. The color palette is simple and animations are acceptably complex. Sound effects are clear and helpful, adding depth to the game. The stage music is repetitive but pleasantly upbeat. There is slight tearing of the image with some static sprites, but this quickly becomes less noticeable as the game progresses. Gameplay seems to strike a balance between repetition and engagement. End bosses are on rails, level mobs are sparse, puzzles are simple. Yet this game is difficult enough to give players of all ages a challenge. Overall average, Big Nose the Caveman is a mildly entertaining game. Developed by Toronto Semicom and released for the arcade by Semicom in 1997, BC Story pits 3 contestants, Sanyo, Milo, and Ballo, in a Stone Age competition. BC Story begins with the eruption of a volcano, setting in motion the long-ago conditions for selecting a new tribe leader. Each player faces over 8 different challenges, each designed to test strength, dexterity, and stamina. Players are allowed to select trials in any order, with a varying small number of attempts to pass. Instructions are given at the start of each trial, making sure that the goal is easily understood. While each trial requires a combination of fast motor skills and accurate timing, some favor one type of skill over the other. Silly and over the top, the challenges are very entertaining to watch, such as blowing up a dinosaur like a balloon and shoving away mammoths in a strength contest. This presentation helps overshadow the shallow gameplay mechanics, as there is no controller technique other than wide-open slamming. Graphics are composed of clean and simple sprite animations. The color palette is minimal, but seems fine for the game. Objects move smoothly and appear to be well thought out, if not rather basic. The music is upbeat and blends into the background without becoming irritating after long sessions. Gameplay is fast-paced, very fast-paced. There is little need for strategy or memorization. We doubt that the arcade vendors appreciated the intense smashing of the joystick and buttons required to win each trial. It is recommended to play this game on a controller that you care nothing about. BC Story is a simple, but very fun arcade game that is worth a few playthroughs, as it is likely the most intense workout an arcade machine will ever experience. As an added bonus, we have slowed down the intro story for your reading enjoyment. Developed by Titus Interactive and published for the Super Nintendo by Kimco in 1995, Prehistorik Man is a side-scrolling platform game and part of the Prehistorik series of games. In the time before history, a caveman named Sam awoke and went looking for breakfast. Arriving at the storehouse, Sam discovered that they had been robbed. He sought the village elder, who told Sam that greedy dinosaurs had taken all of their food during the night, and now the village is in trouble. Winter is coming, and Sam must adventure out to the fabled dinosaur graveyard, where there is enough bones to buy food for everyone. During the journey, he must also collect food for the villagers to eat in the meantime. He will be accompanied by the blacksmith for weapons, the best hunter for strategy, the village genius to design new tools, and the village elder for wisdom. Refusing to stay behind, the elder's daughter has also joined the team. With gameplay, Prehistorik Man checks all of the goodie boxes. While the game clearly shows a sense of comedy with the animations, character designs, and sound effects, don't let this fool you. This game is truly a technical masterpiece for the Super Nintendo. Each stage is cleverly designed to give the player a sense of progression while learning new skills. You begin with running and jumping to familiarize yourself with how Sam moves, but soon enough are given more difficult tasks to accomplish. Each stage ups the ante with more complicated game mechanics that will have you frustrated at first, cussing in the middle, and finally elated with a sense of accomplishment at the end. Mobs are well balanced in difficulty, although can be a bit annoying when they constantly respawn. Boss fights are simple while offering enough challenge to keep the players interested. Levels are designed to encourage adventuring, with hidden food caches and shops that offer helpful items in exchange for collected bones. Letters are scattered throughout the stages, and when found they spell out the word bonus, allowing Sam to enter a bonus level. Sacrifice plays are designed into the stages, giving the player a choice to strategize gain of resources over health when possible. Prehistorik Man receives high praises for its graphics, and for good reason. The color palette is varied and pleasing to the eye. Animations are smooth and flow well. There is little to no loss of frame rate when scenes become complicated. Characters, animals, and items are detailed and well designed, as well as the backgrounds and parallax scrolling horizons. Sound effects are clean, easy to distinguish, and of high quality, though after a while they can be a bit repetitive when trying to complete a challenging task, or when talking to NPCs, as their language seems to consist of a half-dozen types of caveman burps. Few games have the polish of Prehistorik Man. Graphics are pleasing, sounds are clean, and gameplay is deceptively complex under a veneer of comedy. It is odd that this game didn't receive much fanfare, though it's probably due to the launch of the 3D gaming systems around this time taking up all the attention. Bad timing hid this gem of a game. The goal of this channel is to not only review games of the past, but to discover lost examples of what makes a game fun. Titles had to be fun, or it was trash. Old consoles had to focus on gameplay, since there was little hardware for fancy eye candy that dominates contemporary games. Lavish graphics and immersive sound effects are great complements to a title, but playability and fun are still marks of a well-designed game. Well done, Titus Interactive. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to this channel. Every click helps. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on the big screen. But playability and fun are still marks of a well-designed game. Well done, Titus Interactive. Well done, Titus Interactive.